Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Good morning. Welcome to our family service. My name is Barbie Wong, and I will be the chairperson today. We will begin this morning's service with the Sambujo on pages 24 and 25. Now we will have Sutra Chanting, San Butsuge on page 79.
子孫自我心経軽量心死食毒中家業生人人寿不下
Please stand for the Gatha Nembutsu 1 on page 169 and remain standing for the reading of the Three Treasures number 1 on page 8. So Nembutsu 1 on 169.
Page 8, Three Treasures number 1. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Please be seated.
Now, Reverend Fujimoto will share a Dharma message with us.
Namanda, 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 namanda. Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Wow, look at all these people. I'm just so happy to know that I'm becoming so popular, right? Can't be what's happening next door here, right? Okay. Yeah, 3 weeks ago, I gave a Dharma message explaining how through the Dharma you can learn how to make tofu into prime rib. And so today is the example. You'll come and see how tofu is made into prime rib just by saying the Nembutsu. Okay, good. I do have one announcement. Many of us do know Reverend Taniguchi has passed away. He passed away last Wednesday, and we're very saddened to learn that he is no longer here, but he's on his path to the Pure Land. Okay, Taniguchi Sensei was born on August 30th, 1940, in the Shiga Prefecture in Japan. Had his Tokudo and Kyoshi ordinations in 1961, and his Kaikyoshi status to become an overseas minister in 1964. So he served for many, many years with the Buddhist Churches of America, coming to San Francisco. Then he moved to Cleveland for about 5 years and came back to Oakland Temple and then to Alameda for the majority of his time serving as a minister. And while he was here in Alameda, he also supervised Southern Alameda Buddhist Church for a couple of stints. So his wife Shoyo is still with us, along with his two sons, Zuiryo and Zuiho. So some of us have been made aware. I've been waiting for the BCA update, and that would make it official. And I was waiting for that before I send out a notice to all our list of members and friends. So again, there's no service scheduled at this time, and the family has requested no koden, no flowers, and so they're keeping it close to the vest. And if there are any announcements or updates, I'll let you know, okay? So please join me in Gassho. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Buddha, now we hear it. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda. Okay, so today I thought I'd talk about finding our place, finding my place when I come to the temple. And I was thinking about so many different perspectives and the timing of when people come, connect to the temple, and helping out and things that we see that are going on at the temple, the different people we meet, and finding a role that we can, assist and contribute. So just yesterday, I was here in the early evening and working in the office, and a member came in to tell me about things upcoming, that we needed to talk about for today in the next couple of weeks. So it's kind of an important dialogue that's going on. And then while we were talking, Howard, our president, he comes in, Sensei, we have some visitors, and they had just dropped in unexpectedly. So people from the Netherlands, 2 women came and for the first time to come into a Buddhist temple. It's always nice to welcome guests, right? So, but it happened right at the same time. And at the same time, before people came to my door, I'm trying to get out an email families waiting for instructions on what they need to know to prepare for a funeral service. Okay, they're waiting for my return email. So all this converges at the same time. And while that's all is going on, the most important football game of the season is right next door, right? So all these things are happening all at once, right? So, but the guests take priority, and I come out, talk to them, explain about what we have, and they had questions about the Japanese community in Alameda and things like this. And after we talked for a period of time, I asked them, would you like to offer incense? Oh, that's nice. So I told them what to do, and they offered incense. And one of the ladies says, is it okay to pray too? So sure. And so she begins with her prayer and saying things out loud, you know, how she felt thanking God and feeling so fortunate that she could come and visit this temple. And we have so many different diversity of people that have come into the world, and it's starting to go on and on and on, you know. And so I'm waiting kind of patiently, and you know, it's very nice that they feel this comfortable, you know. And but I'm kind of thinking, oh dear God, did you have to send them today? You know, so it was a little bit, you know, everything else was on the back burner for a little bit, but they came and were very gracious. I should be careful, huh? This is being recorded. delete button. Where's the delete button? So, no, but all these things, and sometimes all these different things happen. Convergence of things happen in our lives, right? And the same thing as visitors come in here, you know, this is yay, we've been expecting you. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So also yesterday we had our Buddhist Education Committee meeting on Zoom, and you know, small committee, there's like 6 people on the Zoom screen, and talking about how should we define what we do in Buddhist education and to help with anything Dharma related. We kind of put that umbrella over it, and as we're going through the meeting, just for an hour, you know, I thought these 6 people, it could be any other meeting, right? And 2/3 of those people would be on the same screen, right? So if we had called a different meeting, I'd see the same faces. Call a different meeting, I'd see the same faces, you know. And this means people work so hard, right? They're on this committee, that committee, and finding a place to contribute and help. But we only have so many people. So, and I get so appreciative. I look at them and gee, these people work so hard to join me on this committee, to help to find something to make this Buddhist education relevant, meaningful, and we have this whole spectrum of different people coming in at different times. Some are more familiar with the Buddhist teachings, some are less familiar, some come through because their parents or grandparents have been a part of this. So thinking about all these things, reflecting on other happenings that have gone on. And there was a time, Master Kano, that many of us know, right? Longtime leader and senior of our temple. And he was out in the garden area and had invited a friend of his similar age. And they were working in the garden. His friend was pulling some weeds. And I came out to the yard, and Mas wanted to introduce me to his friend. And so said hello, and Mas told his friend, gee, you're getting, you know, kind of older in age too. Maybe you want to start coming to the temple, right? So the person, I had never seen him before, but he's out there on his knees pulling weeds and maybe in his middle 80s, right? So getting on in age. But when Mas said that, his reaction, no words, just a scowl and a wave. Right? Not to me, to Mas. You know, like, how dare you put me on the spot? Right? So I guess he didn't want to be invited in to have prime rib or something, right? But you get this kind of response, right? So senior in age and still not quite knowing what happens here, what the teachings are about, what does the temple have to offer? What do the teachings have to offer? And there was another occasion. Someone, my age, and I'd been part of another group with them. We eat dinner together. Kids in the same basketball program. We play tennis and all these things. And he's talking to our common friends, and they're asking him, and if he's coming to this temple, Buddhist temple of Alameda, and he goes, "Oh, I don't believe in that stuff," right? And for me to hear that, and I'm, the new sensei coming in, a good friend of mine, says, "What's that stuff?" Right? What do people think is that stuff when they think of the Buddhist temple of Alameda, right? So I know he's not going to come to service, but he's happy to contribute. I think he was a member, and there's things here that he has created. So I know he was very generous with what he's able to do, but he didn't want anything to do. Sometimes I hear that, "Hi, Sensei, if you need any help, let me know." And the sense is, if you need help, you call me. I don't need you, but you need me, right? And that kind of relationship. And so I'm feeling like I'm never going to call you, right? And so you have these kind of people come at different levels of what they think of the temple or how much they appreciate or understand. So there's one article by Nancy Okada at the New York temple. Okay, Yumi knows her, grew up with her, but I've used this article before, and it's a good article. So she wrote this about an encounter that she went through. She said, "I recently spoke with two people who had deeply studied Buddhism and Jodo Shinshu on an academic level. They felt they knew Jodo Shinshu in depth and felt they were now intimately part of the Jodo Shinshu tradition, and thus they were Buddhist. Okay. I listened to each one quote phrases from Shinran Shonin and Renyo Shonin and felt sad that they showed insight of knowledge, but not the internalization of practice." Okay. One young woman would not move out of the way when an elderly person twice asked politely, excuse me, as she tried to pass while juggling 3 cups of hot tea. Right? As she continued to speak, I had to gently direct her out of the way to let the person with the tea pass. A young man saw someone drop a plate of food next to him, but continued talking to me as I helped the person clean up. Studying and knowing the works, words, and thoughts of the Buddha, Shinran, Renyo are great accomplishments, but Buddhism needs to be practiced to reward or benefit our lives. Okay. So Nancy Okada is reminding us that although study is important and has its place, Buddhism needs to be lived. The value of Buddhism should show in how we act ourselves and how we interact with each other. So in Shin Buddhism, we're asked to recite the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, and to live a life of gratitude. So how can this work? How does the Nembutsu work? Right? How does the life of Nembutsu help us? Right? When I hear to live a life of gratitude, it's not like you can just pretend, right? What's the point of pretending something? You can't really be grateful unless you have this awareness of what we're grateful for, all these infinite causes and conditions. And this is Amida. Okay? So this Nembutsu is our relationship with the universe, more than the universe, with the infinite. This is what they're saying, infinite wisdom, infinite compassion, right? The infinite. Okay? So it's bigger than even the universe. As we've grown our understanding of reality, not only there's this universe, there's another one, and another one, and another one. So when we say the infinite, it's more fitting than saying the universe, even when that's too much to comprehend, right? Okay. So as I read through Nancy's article, I think it's not the person who has studied more that we should recognize or respect. It's the person who lives with compassion and understanding for others, awareness and appreciation of our conditions, grounded humility in everyday life. So when we think about people that we meet and come to know, I think we find these types of people, right? It's not the person who knows a lot that we respect right away. So many people, it's the people that are respectful, people who are humble, people who are caring and connected, right? Not showing off what they know, but you see this reflection that is genuine. Then you appreciate that person, and that's the person that I like him. I want to be like him. I want to emulate that type of person, right? And we each have these. We find our own separate heroes, whether it's an uncle or a grandpa or a good friend. This is how we make our connections, right? So one time I was writing an article and I was listing, all these different types of ranges of understanding and appreciation of the temple that we might come across, okay? So I thought I'd write them out, just list them out for myself. And there's some people who are practical. What do I get out of it, right? What's in it for me? And this is common. We go through a lot of things like that. How can I benefit? How can my family benefit if I come into this situation? What's in it for me? So there's that kind of understanding. And someone else, I'm going to give a bare minimum because I have so many other things to take care of. I'm involved in this and this and this. I only have so much time. I only have so much money. So, okay, I will participate, but minimally, okay? And you draw a line as to where is comfortable for you. Another might say, I'll give time, but I don't have much money to give. So I'll help, but I'm not going to contribute dollars. I'm not going to, I don't have that much, so I can't. But I'll help. And okay. And then another might be the temple provides a place for me and all my friends. This is important, and I should support this. Another might say, I'll help at fundraisers, but I don't want to come to services, right? So some people, they prefer to be outside. I'll help in the garden, but no, this is kind of like the boundary here that I'm not coming inside, no, right? So they have that. Others, the temple has provided funerals for my parents and grandparents, weddings for my children. These are real benefits. I should give back. Okay? And this type of mentality, or that maybe another, the temple has been important to my parents and their parents. I want to honor them and continue to support the temple just like they did. Another might be the temple has been a big part of my life, and even more so as I have come to learn what the Nembutsu really is. Not only do I appreciate it, I want to share it with others. Okay. Another one might be, I want the temple to keep going so that the temple can share these teachings with others and continue to do so into the future. Okay. And the last one on the list, the Nembutsu is the only thing real. The temple must continue. Maybe that was Shinran Shonin's perspective. So all these different perspectives, right? And maybe we could go through the directory and say, oh, this person fits here and this person fits here. And we can categorize everybody where they might belong in this list. But when I look more carefully, I think I have been at every level on my list, right? At different times. I didn't have money, but I was happy to contribute effort. So I would ride my bicycle from UC Berkeley apartment and ride it to the Oakland Temple just to help for a couple hours, then ride back. I'll get my exercise and I can help out the temple a bit. Don't ask people for money because I don't have any, but I'm happy to help, right? And at these different levels, maybe you think of mom and dad or grandma, grandpa. Maybe that's the reason you come. Maybe. So all these different thoughts and ideas, they might take the forefront, or maybe they are gone. Maybe you've moved past one and onto another level, right? So maybe all of us have been at these different levels. I had 10 of them I read, right? And where was our starting point? Where is our point now? Okay. So this, as we go through this, we have this sense of self that expands to include more than self, more than family, more than community. Okay. And those are the ones, when we look at other people, these are the people that we recognize, we admire, and we hope to emulate. Right? So the temple becomes kind of a mirror of ourselves as we engage with each other, with the Sangha, sharing, learning, growing, sharing, learning, growing. And as we do this, we come here and we have this time to get to know people, to get to see people, and through this we see what other things they do. Bazaar time, obon time, meal time. What do these people do? Different people emerging, doing different kinds of things, and they find a place to assist. Okay. I think gradually through all of this, we come to find what the Nembutsu is. This call of the Nembutsu, not my word saying the Nembutsu, but the Nembutsu, this voice coming from this infinite reality all around us. Voice is coming this way. Okay? The Nembutsu comes towards us, not from us, towards us. The voice of reality calling us to find our place, find our spiritual journey, okay? Find our connection to everything, to this world, to this life. What do my spouse, my siblings, my parents, my grandparents, these are recognizable aspects of this infinite Amida, right? So we come to grow our minds to recognize we're connected to more than this that we recognize, but we're connected to everything. And this is what grounds us. This is the Nembutsu path. Okay. So I'd like to close with this, and please join me, and I'll read the same reading again. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Thank you. So today the board members of our temple, they're cooking and preparing this meal that we're about to have. And they're not just flaunting their cooking skills over here, but they are thanking you for all you do for the temple, how you help, how you support, how you give, and for all that you are. They are appreciating you. They want to provide a special meal to start this new year, and so that you know that you are a big part of the Buddhist temple of Alameda. And I thank you too. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei, for your very insightful Dharma talk. Now please stand for the Gatha Ondokusan on page 220.
Please be seated.
Thank you to those who helped with the altar preparations and with the service. Reverend Dennis, you too, Brian, altar flowers, Jackie, Dorothy, and Lenny. Newcomers, are there any newcomers or visitors today? And if so, can you please stand and introduce yourselves? Yes, please.
My name is Gary Anderson. I'm visiting from Central as I belong to the Omaji Temple.
Oh, right. Welcome, Gary. Wonderful. Thank you, Ron. And then, that was Ron. Oh, welcome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Any other newcomers or visitors? Oh, yes. Oh, oh. Welcome, Rose. Thank you for being here, Frankie. Wow, a lot of visitors. Any others? Anybody else? Okay. Oh, wonderful. Wow, so many. Anyone else? I don't want to miss anyone. Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for the visitors for coming here and joining us. And we're going to have some fun after this. We have some announcements. Next Sunday, January 25th, there is a family service and Ask Reverend Dennis session. Then on Sunday, February 1st, the Shosuki monthly memorial service. And after the service is the Abwa meeting. A reminder, our membership drive for 2026 is ongoing, so please renew or join. It really helps support our temple. You can renew your membership on our website or with the membership form in the Upaya, which is the newsletter, or you can find, who can we find for the new membership if anybody wants to do that today? Anyway, why don't you talk to me and I'll direct you to who to renew if you want to renew today. And let us know if you have any questions. Are there any other announcements? Okay. All right, well, thank you for attending this morning's service. Please come up to offer incense and join us for the Temple New Year party in the social hall. And thank you to the Temple board members for preparing today's lunch.